You won't believe me. Nobody ever does. But if I don't write this down now, I'll lose my mind. I don't care if you laugh or call me crazy. Just promise me one thing. If someone knocks on your door 3 times at 2:13 a.m., whatever you do, don't knock back. It started last summer. I was 15, living in a small town called Darrell, a quiet place with muddy roads, sleepy shops, and an eerie stillness after dusk. My parents had to leave for my uncle's wedding in Peshawar, but I had exams coming up, so they let me stay back with my grandmother. Dottie lived in the oldest part of town. Her house was one of those ancient, brick-built ones with wooden beams that creaked even when the wind sneezed. I loved her, but staying there always gave me a weird feeling, like the walls were listening. She had only one rule. Son, never open the door after midnight. No matter what. I laughed when she said that. I thought it was just old people's superstition. But her eyes, they weren't joking. The first night passed without anything strange. But on the second night, at exactly 2:13 a.m., I woke up. Knock. 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 3 knocks. Slow. Heavy. Right on the front door. I sat up, my heart thudding. Dottie was asleep in the other room. I tiptoed to her and whispered, "Dottie, someone's knocking." She didn't open her eyes. Just said in a croaky voice, "Ignore it. Don't open. Don't respond. Don't even breathe loud." I stood frozen, waiting for another knock. But none came. The next morning, I asked her who it could have been. She didn't answer. Just poured tea and stared out the window. I tried brushing it off. Maybe some prankster. But that night, the knocks came again. Same time. Same sound. Knock. 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 This time, they were a little faster. Like, urgent. My curiosity overpowered my fear. I went near the door, didn't open it, just looked through the tiny peephole. No one. Just the street lamp flickering. A stray dog scratching its ear. But no person. Then something strange happened. As I backed away, I heard it again. Knock. 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 But this time, it wasn't from the front door. It was from the kitchen window. I wanted to scream, but my voice was locked in my throat. I ran to Dottie, shaking her awake. This time she sat up. Her face looked pale, like all blood had drained out. "They've chosen you," she whispered. "Who?" I nearly shouted. She grabbed my hand tightly and said, "You didn't open the door, did you? You didn't reply to the knocks." I shook my head. "No. I just listened." She exhaled. "Good. But it's not enough anymore. They know you're curious." That night, she lit incense sticks and said prayers under her breath. She scattered salt in every corner of the house and placed a glass of water near every window. And she made me sleep beside her. But sleep didn't come. I just kept watching the clock. 2:00, 2:05, 2:10, 2:13. Silence. For a moment, I thought maybe it was over. Then, knock. 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 But not on the door. This time, on the wall behind my head. That was the moment I realized, whatever this thing was, it wasn't outside the house anymore. And it was getting closer. You can't imagine the fear of hearing knocks on a wall, from the inside. I jumped up, heart pounding like a drum. Dottie was still beside me, eyes shut, mumbling some prayer in Urdu that I couldn't understand fully, something about shadows not being fed by fear. I whispered, "Dottie. It's in the house, it knocked right here." She opened her eyes. For the first time, I saw real panic in them. "No. It's not inside," she said. "It's under." "Under?" She stood slowly, walked barefoot across the cold floor, and pointed at the wall behind the bed. This wall, it used to be part of the basement. The old one. I looked at her, confused. "We have a basement?" She nodded. "It's sealed now. Long ago. Before even you were born." Then she said something that chilled my blood. "When your grandfather was alive, he tried to dig a well down there. But he hit something that wasn't earth. I didn't sleep that night. Next morning, I begged Dottie to tell me everything. She hesitated, but finally sat down with a photo album and began to speak. Your Nana was a brave man, but stubborn. When he built this house, he believed there were things hidden underground, treasures, maybe. He started digging beneath this very room. But one day he came running up, pale as death. He said he found a hollow wall, and there were symbols carved in bone. She showed me an old photo, Nana standing in front of a big wooden plank, with strange markings behind him. I leaned in. The symbols, they weren't anything I recognized. Not Arabic, not Sanskrit. Just circles, lines, and something like 3 dots in a triangle. After that day, she continued, he started changing. He wouldn't talk. Wouldn't sleep. Just sat in the basement, listening. Listening to what? She looked me dead in the eye. To the knocks. The rest of the day passed like a fog. I couldn't focus on anything. I kept hearing imaginary knocks in my head, like a memory stuck on repeat. But that night, I decided I'd had enough. At exactly 2 a.m., I grabbed a flashlight and crept to the side of the house where Dottie had said the basement had once been. Behind the cupboard in the storeroom, I found it, a trapdoor, sealed with rusty nails and cobwebs. I don't know what made me do it. Curiosity, stupidity, but pulled the nails out one by one. It creaked open with a heavy groan, releasing a puff of cold, earthy air that smelled like wet dust and something else. Something like iron. Blood. I pointed the flashlight down. Stone stairs, crumbling. Cobwebs thick like cotton. The air was colder than outside. I stepped down. Every step felt like I was being swallowed into something ancient. The basement was empty, at first. Just walls, and an old broken cot. But on the far side, I saw a patch of wall made from different stone, sealed roughly with bricks that didn't match the rest. That's when I heard it again. Knock. 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 But not from the wall this time. From behind me. I spun around, flashlight shaking in my hand. No one. Just the empty stairs behind me. I turned back, and nearly screamed. There was a drawing on the sealed wall, 3 dots. A triangle. Freshly scratched. My hands were trembling as I reached out and touched the wall. It was cold. ice cold. And then I made the biggest mistake of my life. I knocked. Once. Twice. Thrice. Knock. 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 Exactly how I had heard it. Silence. Then, a knock back. From inside the wall. I ran. I didn't look back. I ran up the stairs, slammed the trapdoor shut, pushed the cupboard back in place, and didn't stop until I was back in bed. I didn't sleep. Couldn't. Every sound, every creak felt like it was breathing. At dawn, Dottie found me curled up, eyes wide open. I didn't have to say anything. She just looked at me and said, "You knocked back, didn't you?" I nodded slowly. She slapped her forehead and whispered, "Up wo kolinj. Now, they will open." Since that night, things started happening. Every time I walked past a mirror, I felt like my reflection took half a second longer to move. Our cat refused to enter my room. Just stared at the door, hissing. And on the third night after the knock, I found something under my bed. A note. Written on old, yellowed paper. In writing that wasn't mine. It said, "You heard us. You answered. Now come back and finish what your blood began." I wanted to show it to Dottie, but the note vanished the next day. Literally vanished. I had left it on my table. When I woke up, it was gone. But the three-dot triangle symbol was burnt into the wood. Dottie called a Maulvi from another town. A man who knew about things beyond our world. He came the next evening, read some verses, sprinkled holy water, and then said something I'll never forget. "This boy has awakened something that was resting. Not dead. Just waiting." He looked at me and asked, "When you knocked back, did you feel anything?" I nodded slowly. Like, the wall breathed. He didn't say anything for a while. Then looked at Dottie and said, "You need to leave this house." But we didn't. And the next night, something even worse happened. At 2:13 a.m., I didn't wake up to a knock. I woke up because someone was humming. A low, slow tune. Like a lullaby. Right next to my ear. But there was no one there. Except when I turned on the flashlight, I saw wet footprints on the floor. Muddy, fresh, leading from the bed to the wall. The sealed wall. That night changed everything. Those muddy footprints, the humming, the sealed wall. I knew I had brought something back from the dark. Something not meant to wake up. Something that wanted me. Dottie said nothing for hours. She just sat in the prayer room, beads clutched in hand, rocking back and forth. When I begged her for answers, she finally broke. "This has happened before, with your father." Dottie's voice trembled as she spoke. "When your father was a boy, maybe your age, he too stayed here one summer while we were away. He also heard the knocks. Also felt the pull. But unlike you, he opened the wall." I stared at her. "You mean he went inside?" She nodded slowly. "There's a hollow chamber behind that wall. A place built long before this village existed. Some say it's a burial site, others say it was a prison. A place where things were locked away, not just bodies." My stomach turned. What happened to him? She swallowed hard. He was never the same. He started talking to shadows. Whispering at night. scribbling those cursed symbols everywhere. Then one night, he vanished. Tears welled in her eyes. Everyone said he ran away. But I know the truth. He went back. To them. I felt like the floor had disappeared beneath my feet. I had never known my father. I'd been told he died in an accident when I was just a baby. But this? Dottie wiped her face and said, "And now you've done the same thing. You've answered. That place is calling your bloodline. Then let's destroy it." I shouted. "We burn the wall, seal it with cement." She shook her head. "It's not the wall. It's you. The knock was a test. And you opened the door. Not the one in the wall, the one inside you. The descent." I didn't sleep again. By the next evening, something had changed in the house. The walls felt warmer. The shadows longer. The clocks kept stopping at 2:13. That night, I decided to end it. I waited until Dottie fell asleep, grabbed my flashlight, a Quran she had given me, and returned to the trapdoor. When I stepped into the basement this time, it was different. The air smelled rotten. And the bricks of the sealed wall were already removed. Someone, or something, had opened it from the inside. Behind it was a narrow tunnel, carved in stone, leading into blackness. I hesitated. But then I saw something that froze my breath. A small photo, half burnt, lying on the floor. It was a picture of a man holding a baby. On the back, it said, "For Musa. Baba." It was him. My father. He had gone in, and he had left this for me. I stepped into the tunnel. Each step felt heavier. The air grew colder. I heard whispers. Not words. Just broken sounds. As if the walls themselves were trying to breathe stories into my ears. After what felt like forever, I reached a circular chamber, shaped like a dome, with the same three-dot triangle symbols carved into every surface. In the middle stood a stone altar, and on it, a mirror. But not just any mirror. This one didn't show my reflection. It showed my father. Standing. Staring. Wearing the same clothes as the photo. Same eyes. "Baba." I whispered. His mouth moved. No sound came. Then behind him, the shadow moved. Not a man. Not even human. It was tall, thin, made of smoke and bone, with arms that scraped the ceiling. Its face had no eyes. Just a vertical mouth that stretched down its neck. It whispered, not in voice, but straight into my thoughts. He knocked. He stayed. You knocked. You must choose. I ran. But the chamber didn't end. The tunnel bent, twisted, looped. I fell. Crawled. Screamed. And then suddenly, I was back in the room. Back in the basement. Lying on the floor. As if nothing had happened. But in my hand was the photo. Still warm. I told Dottie everything. Showed her the photo. She cried for hours. You saw him. That means his soul is still trapped. I asked, can we free him? She hesitated. Yes. But it will cost something. What? She looked away. You. She explained the ritual. Said we had one chance. On the seventh night after the first knock, that was tonight, we had to go into the chamber, face the creature, offer a trade, one soul for another. I agreed. Anything to save my father. We prepared everything. Holy verses, salt, a flame that must never go out. And when the clock hit 2:13, we descended one last time. The chamber was colder now. The mirror, darker. But this time, the shadow waited for me. It didn't attack, just stared, waiting. I held the photo high. Take me. Let him go. It hissed. The walls vibrated. Then something moved behind the mirror. A figure. It was me. Another me. Smiling. Bleeding from the eyes. You already belong here, it whispered. Then everything went black. I don't know how long I was unconscious. When I woke up, I was outside. Sunlight. Birds. I was lying in the field behind the house. Dottie beside me. Alive. She hugged me and said, "It let you go." I looked at her, confused. "Why?" She whispered, "Because you made the final knock. It's been a year. The house is sold. We moved far away. The trapdoor is gone. The chamber sealed. But every night, at 2:13 a.m., I still wake up. Not from a knock, but from a voice. My own voice. From behind the mirror. Calling me back. Moral: some doors don't need keys. They need curiosity. And once open, they never truly close. So remember, never knock back. Because something always knocks last. And it may not be you.